Good.
Ready? Once again, hello, my beautiful Canadian patriots! Yeah. Of course, thank you so much for showing up once again at symbolic, beautiful Queen's Park in Toronto, cosmopolitan city of Canada. And mark my words, everybody, because of you Truth, Health, Freedom Warriors, of course, we're going to make this country once again a bastion of freedom, hope, and shining democracy. And of course, thank you everyone, as I said last week, but thank you for cherishing our path to freedom and celebrating humanity. And thank you, of course, for asserting your personal authority, an absolute stellar, unwavering commitment and support for our community, our country. You know, I said before, a woman came up to me a few weeks ago at Queen's Park. She was traveling apparently all over Europe. And she said in so many words that we Canadians, and she was referring to you truthers, we protest better than anybody around the world. Our voices and the way we stand up for our country and ourselves and our families. Woo! Isn't that awesome? Woo! And again, I like to remind everyone, we have easily over 1 million Truth, Health, Freedom Warriors across Canada, probably millions. They don't necessarily all show up at the protest, we know that, but they back us, they're watching the marches, they're watching us online, and I think a lot of them around the world are proud of us. So never give up, do not capitulate to this deep state evil. It's a very small group of scumbags, right? And you always see it on social media. There's a lot of stage arrests. I'm not going to name names, but they try, the deep state, everybody, and their intellectually bankrupt governments, they try to project like they have more power than they do. We have the power, we have the numbers, we want our freedoms, and if the government doesn't like it, get the hell out of the way, right? And of course that means the likes of, you know, some of the puppets, Justin Trudeau, Doug Ford, John Tory, the Lieutenant Governor, and are absolutely despicable, some of them, bureaucratic health officials. I'm wondering where your N95 mask is. Are you afraid of this, what's it called, the new strain?
Corona.
Yes, thank you. Are you afraid at all? Are you sure? No. That's right. And unfortunately, we know, right? The government never tells you how to boost your immune system. If you want to know if the government's lying to you and educate others, right, that are not truthers yet, just tell them. You can Google the numbers, everyone. 3 million people die every year of cigarettes. Nobody's perfect. I pick up the occasional cigarette, even though I'm a fitness trainer on occasion. But 7 million die of alcohol globally, and 11 million from junk food. That's 21 million people. The government takes this altruistic view often that they care about who dies and who doesn't. If they really did, why would they sell these commodities during the pandemic? Right. So again, everyone, thank you so much for not compromising, as I like to say, your bodily health integrity. We're not going to allow, again, a small group of scumbags to control our bloodstream and health. And you know, you hear about operating systems and bots possibly in the vaccines. Well, as the great Dr. Shiva will tell you, everyone, they do want to control your operating system, and you know what that is? It's your immune system, correct? So again, and I got a beautiful, compassionate, exquisite sister, an exquisite mother, pardon me, and you know, she's a hardworking, compassionate nurse, and she just got fired. As you know, many emergency workers and workers across Canada, I hear you, and it's unacceptable. We're going to hold eventually these agencies accountable. We're going to hold a lot of the intellectually bankrupt governments accountable. They're very nervous right now. And do not give up, my friends. I'm telling you, we are winning. It doesn't seem like it at times, and we are going to win this battle. And it's because of people like you, amazing Truth, Health, Freedom Warriors all across Canada. And again, thank you everyone sincerely from the bottom of my heart for your absolutely stellar, stupendous, public dedication in the fight for truth, freedom, and health.
Yeah, baby!
And you know, Dr. Shiva, my friends, I stand behind this guy. He's got a PhD from MIT, 4 degrees, a biological engineer, system scientist, the best of the best. And he invented the email system at 14 years old. I forget what I was going to say. Oh, he's an expert on the immune system, of course, right? And he's the only one to show you, everyone. He owns 7 companies. He shows you how to follow the money. It's all about the stock market, the investors in Big Pharma. You know, the likes of Bill Gates, I gotta laugh, and these Tony Fauci, but especially Bill Gates. He's got all the money. People think he doesn't have a boss. Well, his boss is the investors in Big Pharma, some of them. That's his masters. We know he's a prostitute for Big Pharma like Tony Fauci. And I just want everybody to understand, you know, Dr. Shiva shows you, everyone, Pfizer, the drug companies are tanking. You know, a lot of us think that this multi-trillion-dollar empire, Big Pharma, are making money. No, they've been declining the last 10 years in particular, and for 15 years. For every dollar that drug companies used to spend, they get 10 cents back, 10% return. Now for every dollar they spend, they're down to a penny, 1.8%. So they needed the jabs, everybody, right? A new model, a new reoccurring revenue model. And he shows you, right, when you have a company and you have a reoccurring revenue model each year, you get a much higher multiple on your stock price. So the booster shots, Dr. Shiva doesn't say this part, but the booster shots, I think, would be a perfect example of that stock, right? It's the shareholders, a reoccurring revenue model. And I'll give you one more example on this, my friends. Pfizer, I said this before, in 2010, their top line revenue was $65 billion. But by 2020, Dr. Shiva shows you, everybody's got the data, they dropped to $41 billion. They lost almost 40% of the revenue, $25 billion. So they needed a cash infusion, Pfizer did, right? And you saw what happened. They went to Israel. The Israeli president, Mr. Yahoo, what's his real name?
Benny Zion.
We'll say Mr. Yahoo. But he's the marketing partner, Dr. Shiva shows you, for Pfizer. And they got data sharing. And like in Canada, it started in Israel first, they put insidious community pressure and threats and bullying and coercion to get 70-80% jabbed in Israel, or they would have had no chance, right? And in Canada, Pfizer's doing the same thing in Moderna. Am I correct?
Yep.
But you guys, many of you are not giving in to the coercion, the bullying, the threats, and we're not going to go for 3 booster shots. We're not going to get 4 jabs. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And to that point, everybody, thank you so much for liberating yourselves, as I've said many times, from the absolute brainwashing, the mind control, the entrainment, because it's off the charts. Thank you for showing your brilliant minds, everyone. You're welcome.